Remember George Grinnell and his work on poaching? Well, he wasn't content to stop there. He kept lobbying the government to protect this land. One of his main tools? Telling people about the park's beauty. The campaign worked, attracting tons of artists, photographers, and vacationers eager to spend time here. In 1897, Congress designated this a forest preserve, but Grinnell wouldn't accept half measures. He kept the pressure on until finally, in 1910, President William Taft created Glacier National Park. It was a major conservation victory, but not everyone was pleased. Some Blackfoot insisted that they should still be allowed to hunt on the land as their ancestors had. But the decision had already been made. This land, from that point forward, was afforded the highest level of protection the government had to offer.
He wants to cross, doesn't he?
Yeah, let him go.
Regular occurrence here. In fact, there's been at least one major fire almost every year of the park's existence. Usually, these fires are actually a good thing. Burning dead trees fills the soil with carbon-rich nutrients and opens up the space for smaller plants and living trees to grow. Fire is a natural part of the forest's life cycle and a necessity for the continued survival of the park. When fires are suppressed, it creates an accumulation of dead, decaying matter, which prevents new growth from sprouting up. Sometimes, however, the fires get out of hand. In July of 2003, unusually dry conditions led to a series of blazes which swept across huge swaths of the park. Smoke shrouded the air. The residents of West Glacier had to be evacuated. Visitors staying at the Lake McDonald Lodge were forced to flee the park in the middle of dinner. Hundreds of firefighters battled the inferno for weeks on end, but it seemed like an impossible task. The fire just kept spreading. 500-foot flames blazed night and day. Finally, on September 8th, a heavy rain helped the firefighters put an end to the blazes. When the smoke cleared, the fires had raged across 135,000 acres of the park, 13% of its total landmass. Fires in remote locations like this can be particularly hard to control and can grow out of hand quite quickly. To prevent this from happening, park rangers do something that might seem a little counterproductive. They light their own fires. Why? Well, because forests actually need some fires to remain healthy. Fires clear away dead trees, leaves, and vegetation that's accumulated on the forest floor. This helps new plants and seedlings to grow. In fact, there are some tree seeds that require the blazing heat of a fire to actually germinate. This also allows stronger and healthy is to occasionally set it on fire. You're about to drive through the West Tunnel. The tunnel is only 192 feet long, but it was built in the 1920s, which made it a pretty arduous process. There was no way to get bulldozers or cranes into the middle of nowhere to help the work along, so workers had to rely entirely on jackhammers and dynamite. The tunnel was supposed to be completed in the summer of 1926, but the process took so long that the rocks froze over before the crew could finish. They returned in the spring of 1927 to finish the job. The tunnel boasts two large observation windows offering views of Heaven's Peak and lower McDonald Creek Valley. The loop is up ahead. This hairpin turn features both a phenomenal vista and a great height.
This is up by the Logan Pass Visitor Center too.
Whoa. Oh, look how pretty. Oh, this is so cool.
You can tell you're in glacier country by the distinctively shaped valleys. Normally, mountain range valleys are shaped like a V, but these valleys are shaped like a U instead. How come? Well, picture a glacier resting between two mountains. As it gradually melts and slides down the mountain, water seeps into cracks in the rock and makes it brittle. When that water freezes, it breaks apart the rock. Finally, as the glacier falls, it just sweeps that weakened rock away. It's basically like a giant ice cream scooper took a scoop out of the mountain. Similarly, have you noticed how the lakes are long and skinny? Well, that's because they formed in big ruts left behind by sliding glaciers.
People behind me that are probably like, is this guy gonna step on it? I'm thinking, I'm
No.
freaked out up here.
No, don't go fast.
Is this a pullover by any chance? This guy's backing in.
Gave birth on the track. Sakakawea was an excellent forager, fisherwoman, and swimmer. When the expedition's boat capsized, Sakakawea dove into the water and rescued essential surveying instruments and papers. When the expedition found themselves in need of horses, she negotiated with a local branch of the Shoshone tribe. And when those tribesmen tried to cheat the expedition by escaping with the horses, she uncovered their plot and thwarted it. Time and again, Sakakawea showed herself to be an invaluable asset to the team. By the time Lewis and Clark reached the coast, they trusted her more than they trusted her husband. Unfortunately, Sakakawea received little reward for her efforts. After the expedition, her husband took her to South Dakota, where she died following a difficult childbirth. She was only 24.
Pretty. Look at the glaciers.
In meadows, be sure to watch for herds of elk. These gentle giants resemble reindeer with a shaggy winter coat and massive antlers. The double layer of thick fur ensures that they don't lose any heat. They're able to reduce their metabolism to survive during the winter, sort of like when bears hibernate. If you don't see any elk, you might hear them. They have a distinctive call that sounds like a bugle, which can be heard for miles. At higher elevations, look for bighorn sheep. They're one of the few animals that live here year-round without migrating south. Much like mountain goats, these sheep have cloven hooves, which let them perch on steep rock ledges. So keep your eyes up.
It is. Driving it's a little hairier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but you got the wall. Just think, there's a wall. I'm not going over the wall. I'm not driving fast. Everything is wonderful. Wonderful.
Glacier National Park, July 2025. We're up by Logan Pass, but not up there yet.
You're approaching the Weeping Wall, a subtle but fascinating waterfall. This waterfall is fed by snowmelt from the glaciers above, which trickles through veins in the rocky cliff. Rather than pouring down the cliff, the water seeps out from the holes in the rock, making it look like it's crying. The Weeping Wall is not totally a natural phenomenon. When Going to the Sun Road was built, the side of this mountain had to be blasted away to create a flat surface to drive on. So instead of trickling down the slope, the water falls directly from the cliff. It's especially strong in the spring. Paradise Meadow Overlook is up ahead. The parking area for this overlook is small, but I highly recommend stopping if a spot is open. It offers sweeping views of the valley at the base of Mount Oberlin and Mount Cannon, including a great look at Logan Creek. It's easily one of the park's best views. Now pull into the turnout just ahead if you'd like to visit the overlook. Otherwise, continue straight.